Do you often find yourself convincing clients to choose you? Do you always have to submit endless documents just to prove that you're qualified? And even after all of that, they negotiate your price down to uncomfortable levels? Well, you're not alone. I've also faced numerous facets of this problem over the past decade, building businesses and also consulting for others. And this is what I have learned, that the real reason that this happens is because your prospective clients are not seeing you as an authority. And that's what we are going to discuss today: authority positioning. So let's jump in. If you're new here, we've been exploring the V.A.L.U.E method, which is a framework designed to help entrepreneurs and business owners to increase their perceived value, thereby positioning them for premium clients. So it's an acronym. V stands for visual identity, A stands for authority positioning, L stands for leverage social proof, U for unique outcome clarity, and finally E for exclusivity and scarcity. Our focus today is the second pillar, which is authority positioning. So let's define what it means: authority positioning. So the two words in there, we have authority and then we have positioning. Authority comes from the root word author. And author is someone who introduces a new idea into the world, unlike an author of a book or an author of an article. So authors are seen as people who introduce new ideas into the world or create a certain knowledge. So usually for such a person, they are seen as a trusted person, the source of that information. They are on the production side of information rather than on the consumption side of information. So when we say authority, then is that person who has the leverage or the power to produce such info. So in simple terms, authority positioning is about being the expert that clients naturally trust to lead them to a solution, not someone who is chasing after a sale. So it's about being the expert clients naturally trust to lead into a solution and not just someone who is chasing a sale. So why is it so important, this idea of becoming an authority or being seen as an authority in your space? Well, first of all, it's because people are naturally wired to follow leaders. People are naturally wired to follow leaders. So you want to create that atmosphere within your business, because then your clients would naturally want to follow you as the expert to take them to a solution, rather than just a vendor or a salesperson who is out to just close a deal. So it's really important that you position yourself as an authority within your space, so that clients will allow you lead the conversation. Also, so you can retain the pricing power, and finally, you can have their trust as well as their loyalty. So, what happens when you are not positioned as an authority in your space? Well, it just means you are just a vendor or a service provider or a sales person. And when clients see you that way, usually they treat you in a different light, because they feel as though you are just out to make the sale and not really to pursue their best interest. So usually you see these three things happen. One, clients will assume that you have an agenda. So everything that you're doing is to push your solution to them, whether it's right for them or not. And the second one is it starts to create friction and resistance. So in fact, the more that you pitch, the more that they pull back. And then finally, you start to get stuck in what we call price wars, So when there's no trust, then the only thing that is left to compare you on is your price. So you just become another option. And if you're just another option, then they're going to look at the cheapest to make a decision. Now, what also happens when you operate as an authority? Now, that in itself means that you're seen as a trusted advisor and no more as a vendor or a salesperson who's just out to close a deal. So let's think about it. When you're sick and you walk into a hospital, you want to see a doctor, right? Within the consultation process, a doctor does not just go prescribing treatments for you. The first thing is to try and diagnose what your actual problem is. And the way in which they do that is through a lot of questions to understand where you're feeling a certain pain, or when it started to occur, or what you did in trying to solve the problem. Now, this is their way of understanding you, your unique self, a problem you're facing, and way before they start to prescribe any treatment. Now, in the same way, we can employ this tactic as business people if we approach our clients as trying to diagnose and understand what problems that they have and what results they are looking for. It's no more about pushing our solution to them. It's about understanding their unique selves, their unique business, their unique challenges. And regardless of whether our offer or our solution can help them out, and we are genuinely trying to get them to their desired destination. So let's apply the same thing in our business, and it starts to quickly position you as an authority because you have expertise within your field, but you're not just prescribing anything to the client. You're rather trying to diagnose. You're asking a lot of questions just so you can understand their pain points, their challenges, and then you can carve out the best solution in the right way for them. So we've looked at what happens when you operate as just a vendor, a service provider, or a sales person versus what also happens when you operate as an authority in your space or that trusted advisor. So let's look at how you can quickly move from the salesperson scenario to the authority figure within your space. So within the same example of a doctor, this time around, let's think about the hospital itself. So usually you will not have anyone go to the hospital and demand to see the certificate or the qualification of a doctor before they get to treat them, right? Because the hospital itself is seen as an authority, is seen as an institution that has structure and has what we call gravitas. So people naturally trust that whoever is a doctor on the day is going to do a good job to get them the results that they are looking for. Now, you need to create the same hospital effect around your business so that people come, or prospective clients come to you already desiring the results that you produce without questioning whether you can actually do the job or not. You can build the same feeling around your business, which is the hospital effect, by doing these three simple things. The first is to prepare your knowledge. And what that means is that break down your insights and your expertise into very clear ideas. So you are an expert in your field, but you need to think about the results that you've achieved for people and break them down to very clear ideas, usually that challenge the narrative or whatever is some unique process that you apply. Just break them down by preparing your knowledge. And the second thing is package your knowledge. Package your knowledge. So what that means is turn it into frameworks, into articles, into short videos, and what we call thought leadership content. The key here is to break things down to be as simple as possible. You're packaging this so that your target audience can connect with the challenges that they face, their pain points, and exactly how you can move them from those challenges that they have to the desired results they are looking for. And the third one is to publish consistently. So you've prepared your knowledge, you've packaged it very well. Now you need to publish it consistently. So here we are saying, show up where your audience is and make sure you demonstrate your expertise to them by, again, explaining that you can connect to their pain points and explaining what your solutions are and why they work. Once you're showing up consistently, you're gradually moving your business up the ladder and you're creating that hospital effect around your business. So what happens is when they come to you, is no more going to be, why should I hire you? It's rather going to be, how can I work with you? To wrap up, if you're looking to become an authority in your space so that you can attract better clients, then you need to start thinking about this. You need to stop selling and rather start advising. Now, we've seen how much of a big shift that is. So you need to start presenting yourself in this way. Remember, authority isn't something that you claim. It's rather something that you prove by how you communicate, how you show up to lead, and especially how you diagnose. All right. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and then also share with other people so they can also increase their perceived value and attract the kind of clients they're looking for. See you in the next video.